I was at work yesterday, obviously, like, I've heard what the heck was going on and what happened in New York, Buffalo, New York. But honestly, I hadn't really been paying much attention to it like I usually do whenever things like this happen. But I was with a patient, I was taking her vitals, and on the TV, I hear, like, she's watching the news and they're talking about it. This is a white patient, by the way. And then, like, as I'm doing what I'm doing and, like, taking her vitals and doing my job, I look up and she's, like, bawling her eyes out. And, like, she says, I'm sorry, this is just so emotional. And I look at the TV and it's showing the photos of the victims. And the one that, like, started to make her cry was the image of the elderly woman. I don't know the age of how old the woman who died was or was murdered was. But it affected my white patient so much that she's sitting there bawling my eyes out as I'm just trying to take her blood pressure. And so, like, I'm saying this because it just made me realize how desensitized I've become to these things. Like, in the moment, I was looking at her like, okay, why are you the one crying? Like, why are you so emotional about this? Like, I, at the moment, did not feel like, I don't know, it was just a weird experience. And now, as I sit here to film this video, I'm like, wait a minute. What I felt in that moment is not normal. Like, how she reacted is the normal. How everyone's always saying ban guns, America has a problem. That is the normal way of thinking. But me being here and experiencing, like, gun culture and, it's just become so normalized to me that now whenever a shooting or murder or anything like that, gun violence happens, I'm just like, oh, another day in America, another statistic, another number, another occurrence. Like, it's not I don't grasp how crazy it is that we continue to have this problem, and, like, nobody else, like, hello, Favour, nobody else in the world seems to be having this issue but America. That's not okay. So I don't know. I'm trying to get all the details because, like I said, I heard about the shooting. Obviously, my family lives in New York City, not in Buffalo, but the city. But still, I am just as affected by it because, one, the people who were targeted were black. I'm black. My family lives in New York, all that. So we're just going to check out more details about it, I guess. And, like, why does this keep happening? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. But, yeah, let's get into it. I hope, I don't know, whatever. Let's go.
Anger, shock, and sadness in Buffalo tonight as people mourn the 10 victims of what police are calling a racist murder rampage at a grocery store.
It's no doubt a hate crime. Absolutely. They said, like, 10 died and 9 out of 10 were black. He left his community to drive to Buffalo in a black neighborhood to kill black, like, come on now. But I'm sure they'll try to twist it some way.
Tonight, the accused gunman is being held in isolation and is on suicide watch as people mourn their loved ones who were targeted because of the color of their skin. KPRC2's Brendan Walker traveled to Buffalo to bring us the story of this community now dealing with this incredible loss. He is live near that market tonight with the very latest. Brandon?
And good Sunday evening to you, Sion, from the intersection of Jefferson and Riley here in Northeast Buffalo. We've talked to community members all day here, and they tell us for years they've considered the Tops Friendly Market to be their neighborhood grocery store.
You can't even go grocery shopping. Dude, like, you're not safe anywhere.
As you mentioned, 10 people killed, another 3 people shot, and tonight we are learning more about the investigation into the accused gunman. Much more on that in a bit, but our coverage tonight from Buffalo begins with a look at a few of the community members who lost their lives. You didn't have to know Pearl Young to know women just like her. She was the kind of hero you're likely to find in communities all across the country. Loved ones on social media remembering the 77-year-old Sunday.
Like, she made it 77 years just to be killed by some white racist twat. She made it 77 years, went through segregation, discrimination, all that, to die at 77 years old at the hands of an 18-year-old white boy. That is so fucked.
As the neighborhood mom, the sweetest person. They say Pearl
Didn't he kill a cop too?
Home to those who needed a hot meal, encouragement, kindness. In fact, for decades, she ran a food pantry in Buffalo. Those grieving are honoring her as the most beautiful soul who loved her church, God, and family. Pearl Young was the wife of a pastor, a mom, a beloved grandma, and auntie. Her family saying Sunday, Pearl and others gone much too soon in this tragedy. will never be forgotten.
It was not her time to go. Like, he stole her life from her. It wasn't like, this isn't like a sad, oh, she's gone type of thing, send prayers, hope she's good in heaven. She was murdered wrongfully by a racist. Like, I don't know.
It's so beautiful, inside and out, because good always overshadow evil. And to the people in the Buffalo community, we extend our condolences to all of the families that lost their loved ones.
Buffalo's mayor Sunday confirmed 86-year-old Ruth Whitfield is the mother of the city's retired fire commissioner. Local media report Whitfield was the mother of 4. We also learned Sunday Aaron Salter was a veteran of the city's police force. Salter worked as a security guard, protecting customers from Gentron's bullets, losing his life doing so.
I heard details that he actually tried to stop the boy who was shooting, and he started, like, the retired cop started shooting back at the guy, but he was freaking gowned in military gear from head to toe, so all the shots that the retired policeman was shooting just didn't have any effect, and that's what got him killed. So, like, at this point, it is so premeditated. You left your own city, drove however long to come to another city filled with a black community, put on military gear, loaded yourself with automatic... Like, there's so many different times he could have stopped and made a U-turn and drove back home. And the fact, like, look at his social media, this is racially motivated. And honestly, if this happened in Texas, it's the death penalty. It's one thing y'all are about to learn about me. I'm from Texas. I 100% support the death penalty. This is an occurrence where I think the death penalty is warranted. Capital, like, come on, punishment.
And witnesses described hearing 20 or more bullets on Saturday. Meantime, the suspected shooter, 18-year-old Peyton Gentron, is in jail tonight, and we're learning that this isn't his first run-in with the law. In fact, in June, New York State Police say that he made a...
Like, the fact that he... Oh, my God. And this is honestly just my opinion, and I'm entitled to it 1,000%. This is my channel. The fact that all these people had to lose their lives and are not breathing anymore, but this bastard is not okay. I would, if I was a juror, death penalty.
A threatening statement about shooting at his high school, Susquehanna Valley. School officials alerted police, which resulted in a mental health evaluation. Authorities say...
Why did he have a gun?
Shortly after. Now, less than a year later, he's accused of killing 10, injuring another 3.
The system failed. This one. The system fucking failed. You said a year ago he got in trouble for threatening to shoot up a school, which is another big problem in America. And he had, like, mental health issues or whatever. He was, like, admitted for mental health. Then why the heck does he have a gun a year later? Why did he have automatic weapons? Like, I know that there is some screening for guns, and, like, you have to do some tests and all this kind of stuff. But hello... I feel like if you have any criminal record, whether it be violence, drugs, or anything, you lose your ability to have a gun. I feel like we're too lenient with who we allow to get guns in this country. Like, we need gun reform, but at the same time, like, we're going against, like, obviously everybody around the world knows America needs gun reform, but how can you push for gun reform when you have... Like, the people we're fighting against are the same ones who say if a woman is assaulted, she shouldn't be able to get an abortion. That's the kind of people, like, we're going against when it comes to politics and government. Like, they think if I legit, God forbid, was assaulted tomorrow and wanted to abort that bastard baby, I couldn't. In the eyes of some of the government officials in America. So it's just, I feel like this is just going to be another thoughts and prayers. The president makes a fucking Instagram post. Trump says, I told you so, I was better, even though he wasn't. And gas goes up to $7 a gallon. That's the state of life we were in.
Investigators say he drove over 3 hours.
3! What? How mad do you have to be? Like, not mad as in angry, insane. I'm talking insanity. How mad do you have to be? These people did nothing to you. Black people did nothing to you. Like, literally. You have a hate for them for what? And there's this saying that's like, racism isn't inherited or something, it's taught. So I'm looking at his entire bloodline, his entire family. Like, they all need to be investigated. Everyone around him. Because there's no way the parents didn't know he was involved with all this, like, fascism and hatred and white supremacy groups. Like, they probably encouraged it, in my opinion. Allegedly. This is a terrible one. He drove 3 hours to kill people. Fucking insane.
To carry out this attack here in Buffalo, he reportedly posted a manifesto online 2 days before this shooting in which he referred to himself as a white supremacist and was targeted.
But supreme over what? Did you see him? What genes does he think that make him above anyone else? He probably could not even run a mile. Like, genuinely supreme over what? You get sunburnt if you stand in the sun too long. What are you supreme over?
Targeting a predominantly black area.
Oh my God.
We have evidence that he was here, that he was doing some reconnaissance on this place, that he was at the location and some other locations. The evidence we have right now, we do not believe was a spur of the moment.
I'm gonna go on a 3-hour road trip just because, and then he ends up, like, spur of the moment. Come on, call a spade a spade. Targeted, just like all the other ones. Who's that boy with the bowl cut who a couple years ago went to that church and killed a bunch of black people? I love all people, but this is when I say Trump supporters, their rhetoric is deadly, as we're fucking seeing. The entire Trump campaign, Make America Great Again, there's a reason Confederate flag wavers and Nazis support Trump. There's a correlation.
Yeah, that point about this not being random, about it possibly being planned, is felt by members of this community. They've come and gone all day, crippled by the hate they say stole lives. As night fell in Buffalo, prayers lifted hope that the pain will pass.
It's my plan to go visit each and every family that has lost somebody.
Healing will take time, says New York Assemblywoman Crystal Peoples-Stokes, majority leader of the New York State Assembly. Peoples-Stokes hugged in the street next to the grocery store in her neighborhood. She's sad, also angry.
People would travel from their own community, where they're safe at, to mine, to come and hurt people.
It's inhuman, honestly. And you can tell they're just people trying to get by, like, normal lives, go to church every day, or every Sunday at least. And they're just good, genuine people living their lives.
In such a horrific way.
Chelsea Williams works at a nearby hospital, said she had to come see for herself.
He came to a grocery store. This could have been any store.
But it was the Tops at Jefferson and Riley, likely intentional stress officials because of the neighborhood's majority black composition.
Yeah.
The slogan around there is like Buffalo's a city of good neighbors. And so to see something like this happen here in this community, it's just surreal for me, and I never thought I would see something like that around here. You see it at other places around the country.
Lanice Lewis brought a bouquet of flowers to one of many memorials. Lewis's grief deepened by her thoughts. She says her son called her Saturday, asking if she knew what had happened at their neighborhood grocery store.
I broke down crying. I said, I was on my way there.
Oh my, she was on her way. Imagine if she just left her home earlier or decided to start her day sooner than she did. It's a lot. And it makes you wonder, okay, what's the solution? The American in me says, okay, everybody needs to be strapped. But hey, the police officer who was there was strapped. But the guy had military gear. So even though the civilians started shooting back, busting back, it did no good because the dude was fucking had to tow in military gear. Bullets were ricocheting off him. You're genuinely, you're just not safe anywhere. It's like you just have, just like everywhere else though, you can't live your life in fear. You just gotta go about your business, go to the gas station, pump your gas, and if something goes off, just pray that you make it out alive. That's really what life is like. I know not all around the world, but that's a big occurrence here. Actually, it is kind of like that all over. Everywhere has their own problems, though. I don't fucking know, man. Gotta go.